Algebra 1, 1.2 in your book, page 8. Applying order of operations, and order of operations is our vocabulary word. And let me get my board on here. Just so you can take our 2-column notes. I remember order of operations with this little, to help us remember, it's PEMDAS. Each one of these letters stand for something. P stands for parentheses. And we can use grouping, any type of grouping symbols is for parentheses. E is exponents. Sorry. The pen and I, you'll see it doesn't always get along. M is multiply. D is divide. I'll use the symbols. A is add and S is subtract. But I like to put arrows above both of these because it doesn't necessarily mean you do all the multiplication then all the division. You do these multiplying and dividing in order from left to right, and you do the adding and subtracting in order from left to right. So not much different from when we do 6th grade, from 6th grade, 7th grade, ever since you've learned how to do order of operations, that order has never changed. So let's take a look at some problems then. Example 1 says evaluate the expression 27 divided by 3 squared times 2 minus 3. So there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of symbols, a lot of stuff. So we have to do these in order. It's not like reading a book from left to right. We have to do them following order of operations. So let me write this to remind us. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is look for parentheses. There are no parentheses, so we skip that. The next thing is E is exponents. So I see an exponent right here. So I'm going to go 27 divided by 3 squared, which means 3 times 3, times 2 minus 3. Then I go to the next is multiplying and dividing in order from left to right. So you don't just jump around and do what you want. You have to go in order. So we have to do 27 divided by 9 first, which is 3, times 2 minus 3. And then we have to still multiply before we subtract. 6 minus 3. So it would be 3. So if you don't follow that order, you would get a whole different answer. So let's see what they do. Step 1, there's no grouping symbols. Step 2, the power, which was that 9, the 3 squared, which I did. Multiply and divide in order from left to right. So they divided first, which if you can remember what we wrote, it looks the same. Remember you were writing these examples with me. And step 4, the answer then was 3, which is what we came up with. So there's a lot of steps, but as long as you follow the order, it's pretty easy. Okay, our guided practice. For example 1, we follow PEMDAS. There's no parentheses. I see an exponent, so we got to do that first. So it'd be 20 minus 4 squared. And remember, 4 squared means 4 times 4, not 4 times 2. And 4 times 4 is 16, which then comes out to be 4. So we look and see what we get. 4. This one, same deal, we're following order of operations. There's no parentheses, but we have to do this because it's an exponent. So 2 times 3 squared, which is 9, plus 4. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 4, which is 22. Let's see, we agree? Yep, and you're writing these with me. Evaluate the expression again, no parentheses, but I see an exponent. So 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Maybe we can write it. I don't know. It doesn't like to write. I think it gets hung up. It doesn't like to. Oop, that's kind of a crazy 8. So I get 32 divided by 8 plus 6. And I have to divide before I add. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 4. Won't let me write the 4. I don't know why. Let's try it over here. 4. See, it acts up sometimes. 4 plus 6, which is 10. Sorry about all that craziness, but so let's see. Yep, the answer is 10. So another one, evaluate the expression 15 plus 6 squared minus 4, so I'm seeing an exponent, so it's this, I do that first, so 15 plus 6 squared means 6 times 6, which is 36, minus 4. 15 plus 36, let me put that underneath so I can line up the numbers a little there. That's going to be an 11, carry the 1, 3, 4, 51 minus 4, which is 47. Let's see if we get that. Alright, example 2, which is at the top of page 9, it talks about grouping symbols. Grouping symbols are those parentheses, and sometimes we also use brackets that look like this. And sometimes you can have parentheses with inside the brackets. So this has a parentheses, so notice they have it in red, which tells us we have to do that first. So we first do that, 13 minus 8, and we'll keep the 7 with, this means when there's nothing between the 7 and the parentheses right here to multiply, so we'll keep it like that. 13 minus 8 is 5, and then it's still then 7 times 5, which is 35. Well, notice we subtracted before we multiplied, and the reason was because of the parentheses, because we must do what's in the parentheses first. So it goes through and does the same thing. So the next one we do the same. We go to the parentheses and we look inside of the parentheses, and inside of the parentheses we have to do the exponent before we can add. So we do 3 squared, which is 9, plus 1, that's inside the parentheses. We still solve inside the parentheses, which is going to be a 10, and 24 minus 10 is 14. Get it? 14. Okay, and this one, look, here's some brackets and parentheses. So when you have a lot of grouping symbols, you start with the innermost grouping symbol, which here's the bracket right here, but this one is inside of it, so we have to do this part first. So we do 8 plus 13, which is 21, so we end up with 30 minus 21, and then the 2 on the outside, and the brackets are just like parentheses. We do that first, which is 9, and you can keep the bracket around it, and then 2 times 9 is 18. So we look at that, and we get the 9, you'll see, and then there's the 18. So example number 3, evaluating algebraic expressions, are going to give us variables now, and what we have to do is substitute in the correct numbers and then still follow the order of operations. So when I'm doing a problem like this, this 9x means 9 times x, and I'm going to go ahead and use parentheses to show the multiplying. I could use a dot. I'm not going to use an x to show times because of the variables. And so the first thing I'm doing is I'm just substituting in everything. So I put in the numbers, I substitute them in, and now I simplify the top and the bottom. So 9 times 4 is 36, and then here I have to do the parentheses first, which is to add that, and then 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 goes into 36 2 times. So I just step by step, and again, knowing my facts makes it a lot faster. So there's the substituting. And then there's the multiplying, and they get 2. Notice they did a little bit different, but we did follow the same steps. So on this one, the guided practice that you're writing with me, we have to do the parentheses first. So we do 9 plus 3, which is 12, and we have that 4 still on the outside, so we have to keep the parentheses to show we multiply, and 12 times 4 is 48. This one, we go in the parentheses, and this right here we have to simplify first, so it's 3 times 8 minus 2 squared, which is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4, I'm just going to cross it out right there, and 4 times 3 is 12. This one has some brackets and parentheses, so I go in the innermost, which is this one, so I do that first, which is 12, and then I do the brackets, which is 12 divided by 4, because this is gone, it became a 12, which is 3, and then the 2 on the outside, we multiply that, and it comes out to be 6. Looking good. Now we evaluate some more expressions. So I'm going to put in, where the y is, I'm going to put parentheses in just to remind myself that that's where I'm putting the substituting, and I'm going to put an 8 in there. That's the y. That's 8 squared, which is 8 times 8, which is 64. Minus 3, which is, not writing, again, equals 61. And there's my answer. Okay, number 9, get rid of the slide here. Okay, so I'm going to substitute in. I'm going to go 12 minus 8 minus 1. And this is all subtracting, so you just go in order. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So that answer is 3. So we substitute in. I'm going to go ahead and use parentheses again just to separate these numbers. Times 8, maybe, plus 1 over 8 plus 1. And I'm getting the 8 from up here. Okay? Not just, sometimes people lose track of that. So I do on the top, 10 times 8 is 80 plus 1. And 8 plus 1 I can go ahead and do 9. 80 plus 1 is 81 divided by 9, which is going to be 9. Let's see if that's what happens. Yep. Okay, example number 4, the standardized test practice, and that's at the top of page 10 in your book, which is the last example for this unit, or this section. It says a group of 12 students volunteer to collect litter for 1 day. The sponsor provides 3 juice drinks and 2 sandwiches for each student and pays $30 for trash bags. The sponsor's cost in dollars is given by the expression 12 times the quantity 3J plus 2S plus 30, where J is the cost of the juice drink and S is the cost of the sandwich. A juice drink costs $1.25, a sandwich costs $2. What is the sponsor's cost? Well, we have 12 people and they get 3 sandwiches each. That's why it's 3 times the cost for the sandwiches and 2 times the cost for the sandwiches, the juice and then the sandwiches. So we substitute in what we know. We go 12 and it's going to be times 3J, and the J's right next to it means to multiply. Juice costs $1.25 each plus, sorry, I don't know how I do that, 2 times, I don't know how that happens, 2 times the cost of sandwich, which is $2, plus 30, because the 30 is just, in general, is how much, I don't have to take anything times the 30, it just, oh, or I have to go scribble a little bit and see if I can get the pen to, I'm not sure why it does this. I haven't quite figured out what I do to make it not work. So, is there another parenthesis? I guess it was around here, would be where I need to put that parenthesis. So I go ahead inside the parenthesis, I multiply first. 3 sandwiches at $1.25. Let's see, that'd be $3 and 3/4 is $3.75 plus 4, and those are in parentheses. Sorry, this is, and we take a 12, we take it times 12 plus 30. Boy, sorry, this has got to be annoying. It's annoying for me, so I know it's got to be annoying for you guys. 30. So I add these first. For the cost is going to be $7.75 per person, and there's 12 people. So I'm going to go over here, maybe, and I'm going to do $7.75 times 12. 0, carry the 1, 15, carry the 1, 15. hard there for me to add a placeholder. That's going to be a 5, 7, 7, 0, 0, carry the 1, 13, carry the 1, 7, 8, 9. 2 decimal places. So the food is going to cost $93 plus those $30 for the trash bags. I'm coming up with $123. So I'm going to say my answer would be B. Let's see what they did. Their solution is to substitute the numbers in like we did. They multiplied in the parentheses like we did. They got the 775. They got the 93 and the 30. They added those together for the 123. So that worked out good. B is the answer. So the guided practice, suppose the number of volunteers doubles. Does the sponsor's cost double as well? Well, their cost for their food doubles. Food would double, but the trash bags would stay the same, unless they, they're not going to probably double the amount of trash. They might need more trash bags, but I think the trash bags would stay the same. So the food doubles because you get that many more people, but the trash bags is going to stay the same. Let's see how they looked at it. The sponsor's cost would be $216. No, the total cost of the juice drinks and sandwiches will double, but the cost of the trash bags will not. That's what we came up with. Good job. That's 1.2. Go ahead and work on your assignment now. See you later.